For some people, it's an absolute dream, and for others, it's an absolute nightmare. Looking a shark right in the eye. Whether wearing only a diving suit or protected by a cage, shark encounters often go perfectly fine. But they can also end quite differently when a great white shark comes around, for example, with poor eyesight and mistakes a diver for a seal. Now we'll show you 6 incredible encounters with these large predators that have been captured on film. Let's go. Number 6. Head first. When the Canadian Jeremy Stewart spent his holiday in South Africa, a little trip under the water had to be part of it. So he allowed himself to be locked into a shark cage and was lowered into the water in the area of Gansbaai, also affectionately known as Shark Alley. Barely submerged, he could already see the first shark circling around the cage and tried to catch one of the many fish. He tore it open with his mouth, baring his strong sharp teeth, and slammed full force straight into the cage. Well, he must have overshot his target. It was a lucky mishap for the seal and quite a shocking moment for Jeremy, who had his first shark scare well presented but not so rough. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Only the great white might have had a slight headache. Number 5. Lunch. Up till now, researchers believe that sharks only eat whales on a coincidental basis, and this is not actually usually on their menu. However, this might not be the whole truth, and it suggests growing evidence that these giants represent a real delicacy for sharks. So this film crew went out and went straight to the big feeding. They watched these predators and caught some stunning shots off the coast of South Africa. They even went into the water and filmed at close range. One of the divers was injured actually when a shark bit his leg. Nevertheless, he remained to watch the spectacle, for which there were now more than 30 sharks of all different kinds that were ganging up on the site. As more and more spectators passed the researchers and photographers, they tied the whale to the boat and continued out to sea so that they continue to work undisturbed. Number 4. Unannounced visit. It's simply an absolute nightmare. This tourist group wanted to watch sea lions off the coast of South Africa, but they ended up getting a lot more to see: a great white shark. At first, it was quite interesting, and the friends took many photos and videos of the unexpected visitor. But then the tide turned when the shark began to attack the boat. He bit into the sides, destroyed the hoses, and simply did not give up. Panic slowly spread amongst the passengers because parts of the boat were so damaged the water was flowing into it. While they all managed to get back to the mainland without injuries, it was not without a huge scare. The company which had organized the trip believes that the shark must have held ground because it had mistaken the boat for a carcass of a whale, and so it kept biting into it. Number 3. Deep blue. To meet a great white shark underwater is actually nerve-wracking enough, even if you're in a protective cage. This female is also the largest shark that's ever been filmed. Her name is Deep Blue, and she's more than 6 feet long. The animal was spotted in the waters around the Isla Guadalupe in Mexico, an area that is known for spectacular big fish encounters. As you can see in the video, she's a pregnant female who's about to give birth. For a brief moment, one of the divers even touched her tail. It's speculated that the animal must have been about 50 years old. A truly incredible encounter. Number 2. Spectacular footage. Although these shark scares are really anything but accidental, the photos and videos are unique. They show great white sharks on the hunt in some of their most spectacular moments as they go after their prey. In this one, however, this is not a real seal, but rather a dummy made of foam, which the photographers were trailing behind the boat. They would start shortly before sunrise near Kaapstad, as this is one of the most active areas for seal hunting. At this point, the water is so dark that seals are in big trouble if a shark is nearby. This gives a great advantage to the two filmmakers as they set out to trick the dangerous hunters, but even with the successful ruse, it was difficult enough to capture the sharks at the right moment. And number 1. Selfie alarm. In 2014, the Dutch photographer Peter Verhoeven presented a special kind of selfie. Instead, like so many other photo shoots inside the cage, he stretched his body out of the frame and made a spectacular selfie which really seemed to surprise the great white shark. He managed to remain calm and even allowed the Dutchman to take a few more pictures. Peter Verhoeven, who incidentally is also the managing director of the Dutch Shark Society, wants to show these recordings so that mankind doesn't need to be so afraid of shark, and would like to show that their reputation is somewhat unjustified. Normally, says the Dutchman, you have absolutely nothing to fear. Of course, there are cases in which sharks might mistake a person for prey and take a bite, but this isn't so often. We're not as greasy and nutritious like a seal. It's a truly risky action, but it has a peaceful message. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing these truly thrilling shots of the predators of the sea, and if you like this video, why not check another one out right here? Just click in the middle. Till next time, see ya!